question goes like this. The maxillary vein accompanies us A. the first part of maxillary artery, B. the second part, C. the third part, and D. all. In this diagrammatic representation, this is the maxillary artery and this is the maxillary vein. This have the same orientation in our face. So it is given separately here. So this is maxillary artery and this is maxillary vein. It goes same way in the same line. So the correct answer is the maxillary vein accompanies the first part of maxillary artery. The next MCQ is the superior vena cava is formed by A. subclavian vein, B. internal jugular vein, C. external jugular vein, and D. brachiocephalic vein. So here in the diagrammatic representation, this is the superior vena cava. This is right atrium, this is right ventricle, and this is inferior vena cava. And according to the question, superior vena cava is formed by brachiocephalic vein. So this is brachiocephalic vein. So the correct answer is brachiocephalic vein. The next MCQ goes like this. What is not true for facial artery? Option A. Main source of blood supply to palatine tonsils, supplies as branches to the upper and the lower lip, conveys postganglionic sympathetic fibers to submandibular gland. These all three options are true. And the option D, it is a branch of internal carotid artery. No, this is no, complete no. Why? Because facial artery, see, this is facial artery and this is a branch of external carotid artery. So here the option is it is a branch of internal carotid artery. The answer for this question is what is not true for facial artery? It is a branch of internal carotid artery is not true. It is a branch of external carotid artery. So facial artery, this is facial artery, is a branch of external carotid artery. So this is the external carotid artery and its branches, one of the branches is facial artery. The next MCQ, internal carotid artery at the bifurcation from the common carotid is A. lateral to external carotid artery, B. medial, C. posterior, and D. anterior. So first we will locate where is internal carotid artery. So this is the internal carotid artery. So at the bifurcation from the common carotid. So this is the common carotid. The bifurcation from the common carotid is, this is the medial side which is towards the midline. And lateral is away from the midline. And according to the options, lateral to the external carotid. So this is the external carotid. This is lateral and so option A is the correct answer. Internal carotid artery. This internal carotid artery bifurcation from the common carotid lateral to the external carotid artery. The next MCQ. Small bone is supplied by A. nutrient artery, B. periosteal artery, C. subperiosteal artery, and D. epiphyseal artery. Usually the long bone's blood supply is nutrient supply, short bone periosteal supply, and flat bone is also periosteal supply. So the small bone is supplied by periosteal artery according to the answer here. So the correct answer is small bone is supplied by periosteal artery. The next MCQ. The cavernous sinus communicates directly with all except inferior petrosal sinus. So this is the inferior petrosal sinus. So this region is inferior petrosal sinus and this is cavernous sinus and this is pterygoid venous plexus. Here pterygoid venous plexus is over here, inferior petrosal sinus is over here, and sigmoid and straight sinus. So this is the straight sinus, and this is the sigmoid sinus. So the cavernous sinus communicates directly with all inferior petrosal sinus, pterygoid venous plexus, and veins in the orbit, except sigmoid and straight sinus. So this is the cavernous sinus. So this does not communicate with the straight sinus and the sigmoid sinus. So the correct answer is option D, sigmoid and straight sinus. The next MCQ is inferior thyroid artery ligation during thyroidectomy is done for option A, rectal laryngeal nerve, option B, superior laryngeal nerve, C, vagus nerve, and D, glossopharyngeal nerve. This is the diagrammatic representation, and this region is a ligation region of inferior thyroid artery, and this is a branch from subclavian artery, and inferior thyroid artery and its site of ligation is over here, and this is the recurrent laryngeal nerve. This recurrent laryngeal nerve is the correct answer. Inferior thyroid artery ligation during thyroidectomy is done for option A. This is the recurrent laryngeal nerve. So this ligation is done here for recurrent laryngeal nerve. Sorry, wrongly explained. Inferior thyroid artery is a branch of external carotid artery, anterior branch. The next MCQ is the ophthalmic artery is a branch of part of dash of internal carotid artery. Option A, intracavernous. So this is intracavernous region of internal carotid artery. Intrapetrous. So this is the petrous part of internal carotid artery. Intracerebral. This is the cerebral part of internal carotid artery where the ophthalmic artery branches, and the extracranial. So the ophthalmic artery is a branch of part of, this is the ophthalmic artery of intracerebral. So option C, intracerebral part of internal carotid artery is the correct answer. The next MCQ, the artery palatable at the anterior border of masseter is maxillary artery, B, facial artery, C, lingual artery, and D, superficial temporal. So this is the diagrammatic representation. This is the masseter muscle which is kept for explanatory purpose like this. Actually it will be inserted like this. This is medial pterygoid. This is temporalis muscle insertion, the coronoid process. This is the condyle, and here the lateral pterygoid muscle is present. And here is the another diagrammatic representation of the facial artery near the masseter muscle region. So the artery palatable at the anterior border of the masseter is option D, facial artery is the right answer. The last MCQ, as we are going to end the session, anterior spinal artery is a branch of A, internal carotid artery, B, basilar, C, vertebral, and D, labyrinthine artery. And this is the circle of Willis as we all have revised before in the previous session, and this continues as here. This is the anterior spinal artery according to the question, and it is a branch of vertebral artery. So this is the vertebral artery. This vertebral artery is the correct answer, option C. Now we have completed the session. Please like, comment and subscribe to my channel for more updates. If you have any doubts, please comment. Thank you.